Remember to subscribe. Cup. Apologies for the wait. If you couldn't tell, this morning has been rather productive. Give me one moment to look him over for any wounds. I'll get started on your breakfast momentarily. No, it's quite alright. I can't have you doing any of the chores. It's my responsibility to take care of you both. It doesn't look like he sustained any injuries along the way. The poor thing must have fainted from shock. I heard his screaming coming from the forest, but when I got to him, he was already unconscious. Those monsters weren't far behind, so I disposed of them before they could follow us. Luckily, he doesn't seem to have been exposed to the blood curse. Otherwise, I would have had to quarantine him until his passing. I'd rather not lose another guest. At the same time, no, I don't think it should be an issue. I'm just not used to having more than one guest here at a time. So I'm just a little overwhelmed. It means I need to make additional accommodations, and it's difficult having to open up and explain my situation more than once. Yes, you could say that our talk yesterday wore me out, so I'm a bit emotionally drained. Oh, no, don't apologize. I enjoyed our discussion immensely. I simply put too much energy into it after bottling up those secrets for so long. I'm not sure if it's worth sharing with this new guest, but that depends on what he decides to do when he wakes up. As awful as it sounds, I'm happy he isn't awake right now. It gives me some time to prepare myself. I just don't know what will happen if he decides to stay too. More friends are always good. I'm just not sure if I can handle it right now. Oh, yes. I mean that I consider you a friend. You're very nice. Probably the nicest person I've ever met. I'm sorry. I don't mean to push a friendship on you so quickly. But when you live like me, every day I have to talk to someone else is special. I won't call you my friend, if that's what you prefer. You're a guest, after all. Are you sure? I really don't mean to be so forward. Well, thank you. I'd love to be your friend too. But, because you're my friend, I can't make you do the chores for me. If this were your castle, I'm sure you'd think the same. No, please. let me make breakfast for you. I'll get to it right away. No, I can't have you watch over him, either. That's also my job. If I can't handle taking care of you both, then what kind of a friend am I? I know. At this rate, I won't be able to take care of either of you if I don't tend to your needs. The only issue is that everything I need to do might be a burden on you. Yes, you're right. I need to get used to relying on friends. Unfortunately, I can't have you cook anything for yourself. It would take a while to explain what and where everything is. By then it will be well past your next mealtime. I'm also worried that the new guest will start to deteriorate while my attention is elsewhere. But I suppose he's stable enough by the looks of it. Though you can never tell with some of these curses. Do you think you could look after him for a short while? Alright. Please let me know if there are any changes. I shouldn't be too long. Here you are. Please heat up. I apologize for taking so long. I didn't want to rush and make you sick with undercooked food. One incapacitated guest is more than enough for me to handle. How's he doing? Any changes? Oh, that's good to hear. At least he's able to get up normally. He must be exhausted then, if he fell back asleep already. No. I'll wait on making a meal for him. He needs to rest. But did he say anything when he first woke up? Oh, I'm sure he must have been a bit disoriented after everything. But I'm glad he didn't make too much of a fuss about not knowing where he was. I can bring him up to speed once he's properly awake later. Then we can figure out the rooming situation. I need to figure out which room works best. Probably the one at the end of the hall. I'd rather not have you both near each other. I need to gather myself between conversations. Otherwise I'm going to get overwhelmed, remember? I know. Hopefully it won't cause too many problems while trying to take care of you both. Worst comes to worst, I won't make any promises to host him for very long. Maybe just a night or two. I feel awful just saying it. I really don't want to send him out there alone again. Especially after what happened earlier. I also don't want to be lonely. Really, I'd love to have as many friends stay for as long as they possibly can. I'm just not confident in myself to handle it well. I know it's probably strange, but thank you for understanding. But there's more to it than just me being overwhelmed. I just don't want to disappoint myself by getting too excited over the prospect of more than one guest. I think it will be even harder on me to lose more than one guest in a quick succession. It already hurts enough when I know one plans to leave. No, don't apologize. With you, I at least have some time to prepare myself for what's to come. You are always welcome to stay for longer, if you want. I may have to think before giving that offer to anyone else. I've known you for longer than my newest guest. 3 days may as well be years compared to how little time others have spent visiting me. And I hope your time here means enough to you by the end of the week. It would mean the world to me for you to look back on everything fondly. And for us to remain close, regardless of where life takes you. Yes, and I'll make these next few days memorable for you, my dearest friend. Do you have everything set? Good. The sun should still be up by the time you reach the forest. Good luck. You'll need it. Hmm? Oh, no. I'm not upset. I think it was for the best that he left anyway. It was getting a bit too crowded for my taste. Well, he didn't seem to mind either, so I suppose it works out for us both. I'm glad you chose to stay, though. It truly means a lot to me. A promise is a promise, after all. And luckily someone new didn't get in the way of our friendship. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm not particularly upset about him leaving. Had he convinced you to join him, that's 2 guests I would have lost in one day, including the most important one. I'm sure he didn't want to go out into the forest without someone to back him up. And it's clear that he didn't want my help as it is. Though it's highly likely that you both would have met a terrible end. There's no point in allowing him to drag you out there. I doubt he'll make it through to the end of the day. But if that's what he prefers, then so be it. He may not have appreciated my hospitality, but I don't appreciate someone who tries to break friends apart. It's just the audacity to assume you choose to go with him when you only just met. Well, 4 days is more than one. I wouldn't count the first day, since he was out cold for most of it. So the fact that he wasted no time trying to lure you out of the castle makes me even more upset. Honestly, if it weren't for the Barry's properties, I'd have assumed he were a monster trying to lure prey out of the safety of my home. Though I think monsters take many forms, not just beasts who hunt for blood. This one seems to have been after hearts, specifically. I'm abundantly aware that he knows how close we are. I'm sure that's why he always wanted to speak to you in private. I'm no fool, though. You both know what I'm capable of. If I had even a drop of malice over whatever it was he had to say, that would have been more than enough to convince me to silence him with my blade. I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare you. I'm simply speculating what I think was going through his head at the time. And I imagine that he must have said plenty of awful and speculative things about me. He was giving me very awful looks whenever I spoke with him. With how urgent he was to leave and drag you out of here, I must have at least been part of the topic of conversation. That's what I thought. I hope that whatever he said to you doesn't change your opinion of me. Though I'm sure it didn't, since you're still here. You are a very wonderful friend. I know it's difficult to trust someone so soon, but I appreciate that you've put your faith in me. I'll keep saying it because no one else has gotten very far in a relationship with me. I'm sorry if that sounded strange. I just can't help but admire you and how kind you are to keep your promises. Many people say they'll stay, but they never follow through. I think the most they tend to last is 3 or so days. Then they chose to brave the forest again. Seems so ridiculous, doesn't it? Who would choose certain death over a nice, comfortable castle with plenty of food and drink to last for years? What? Surely the choice would be to stay as long as possible, right? Don't tell me you're considering leaving early. I mean, whatever is past the forest couldn't possibly be worth dying for, could it? I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't assume anything. But We both know what to expect out there. And if death is just about inevitable, then you probably never will reach your goal, no matter how important it is to you. I'm just being realistic. If that young man isn't able to make it through, then imagine what your chances are. See for yourself. I doubt he's gotten very far. The moment he steps through the barrier, he's the only one who can defend himself. I don't plan to waste my time on someone who can't mind their own business. Alright, it looks like it's all on him now. Let's see how he can handle everything alone. No surprise at all. I warned you both, and he still decided it was worth the risk. If that's the sort of death he prefers, then so be it. He didn't want me to interfere, so I won't. It's a sad way to go, but that's reality. And that could have been yours, if you had decided to join him. So I'm glad you made the right choice. That doesn't have to be your fate at the end of the week. I won't throw you out to fend for yourself. No good friend would ever do that to someone they care about. I'd certainly like to think I'm a better friend than that poor traveller who walked straight to his death. I'd have felt more for you than I would have for him. And if you'd allow me, I would have at least attempted to dispatch several of the monsters in your way. To give you another chance, and maybe convince you that you're safest with me. If you do change your mind, my castle is yours to call home. It was always meant for more than one person, and there's no one else I'd rather share it with. Would you believe me if I said that my desire for companionship is even stronger than his need to continue his own journey, even if it was at the cost of his life? I would die 1,000 times to escape the cycle I'm in. I've lived through it more times than you know. Would you willingly die to go where you want to be? It's a scary thought to die, isn't it? Especially when what you just saw could be your fate. Well, you have an alternative right here waiting for you, and it will never go away. Ever.